Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Kiki Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney.
Today is full of different doses of Disney.
So this is like a double dose of triple dose because we had Ms. Marvel.
There's more, well, for our videos, but there's a lot going on with Disney today.
Oh my God. So we're going to talk about this. The headline story is that Disney is pulling the plug on the Lake Nona complex in Florida, and they're trying to say it's because of the feud with DeSantis.
Bullshit.
That is not true.
I don't buy it for a minute.
That is not true. They're looking to save money, and we've got some evidence to support that. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in this very special episode of Clownfish TV.
Hey, every episode's special.
We're special.
I'm here. Yeah. Anyway, no, seriously, no. What's going on? This morning it started off with Disney announced this big deal for Disney Park Blog fans that if you wanted to get Hulu and you were a previous subscriber or new subscriber coming back, as long as you weren't subscribed in the last month, you can get Hulu for 3 months for $2 a month, and that was their National Streaming Day deal. And you could add Disney Plus for additional $2. Now, after your 3 months are up, you go back to the regular price of Hulu, and you still get to keep Disney Plus for $2 a month. But that's twice as much as their deal was last year.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like they're going to be pushing Hulu pretty hard because it looks like they're going to get stuck with the bill. I talked about that in a previous video. It sounds to me like Comcast is going to force Disney to buy the remaining share. We don't know what the price tag is. People have said it could be upwards of $30 billion.
Right. It has to be market value. There's that. And then you have the whole thing that happened before with the people in the class action lawsuit. They're trying to set up against Disney Plus and Disney for the fact that the numbers didn't align and there was some questionable marketing and accounting practices. Surprise, surprise. So that started off today, and I was like, my first thought was like, it's because your numbers are down, and I guess they went up 200,000 subscribers on Hulu, but that was kind of crap.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
not good.
they lost. I think they went up in the U.S. and Canada 300,000 for Disney Plus, but they lost 4 million overall. So I think they're trying to make up some numbers because this will put it in a month or so before the end of the next quarter. So they're doing that. They're trying to get people to subscribe so they can say, oh, look, we have more subscribers. That started today off. And then came the Lake Nona announcement.
Yeah, so this actually, I think it was New York Times broke the story. They're pulling the plug on the billion-dollar development. Now, for those of you who don't know, this was a point of contention for Disney employees in California. They did not want to relocate to Florida.
No. They were pissed. And what the sad thing is? Some of them quit being Imagineers because they thought they had to relocate. And some of them already moved to Florida for this, okay?
Yeah. Now, this is hardly the first time Disney has canceled a project that they made a big deal about. Remember that theater on Main Street? Whatever happened to that?
And the new monorails that they were
monorails they were supposed to get. Yeah. So Disney tends to cancel projects when the money starts to run out.
They canceled the festival pavilion and all that.
Oh yeah, the big festival pavilion. Now we have a big hole in Epcot.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They were already going to cancel this project. I can tell you this for, a fact. I've talked to people. It has been, they have not done anything on it. They had the plans out there, but that was it. They haven't been moving on it. They were dragging their feet. They kept sporadically making announcements about it. It has nothing to do with DeSantis in Florida. They're spinning it now to say that because they're trying to, politically pander and all this bullshit. Yeah. Oh, look, we're going to take away jobs. You weren't going to do it anyway. Your own people were pissed about it. I've heard from people that in the know that said it's kind of been canceled for a while. They just didn't announce it. So now you're announcing it now.
Yeah, and this is the same day that they basically said, hey, we're done with the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yes, that came later. This is called Disney's losing money and they're shitting their pants.
Well, that's what DeSantis is saying. So now the media story is, this is Bob Iger being like, well, fine, we're going to take our ball and go home. We're not going to build that Lake Nona. This is what DeSantis had to say about that.
What we were thinking.
This is what we were thinking. He said, Disney announced the possibility of a Lake Nona campus 2 years ago. Nothing ever came of the project, and the state was unsure whether it would even come to fruition. Given the company's financial straits, falling market cap, and declining stock price, it's unsurprising that they would restructure their business operations and cancel unsuccessful ventures.
Right, because they're trying to say, Disney, Bob Iger says he's not doing it because of Florida. But meanwhile, Josh D'Amaro said they were just doing some business restructuring, which is why they're canceling the Starcruiser and why they're not doing Lake Nona.
Yeah, and look, they've done this before. They announced a whole bunch of projects during was D23 2017, all this blue sky stuff. They were going to reimagine Epcot. We still don't have the revamped Spaceship Earth.
Thank God. Let's keep it that way.
Thank God.
I mean, I think it needs to be updated, but no, we're going to get that. We are going to get it. I'll tell you why in a minute. Just continue. No, I'll interject this in a minute.
Okay. There was talk that they were going to refurbish the Journey into Imagination.
They need to. I think they still might do something with that.
Maybe. They haven't done anything with that yet. And we still don't know what they're going to put in that big ass hole that they. So they went ahead.
The big asshole.
The big asshole in Epcot. That's
no.
Epcot's,
I think they're basically just turning it into. They're putting trees and stuff in there and turning it in. They put new concept art out last year, so they just replaced it with like a little park area with trees, which they are planting, by the way. And that actually looks really nice. I'll give them that. It looks nice and shady, and I do approve.
And it's cheaper than the festival pavilion would have been. Yeah.
This is what's going in the big ass.
The big asshole.
Hole. You know. Anyway, so what's interesting that you said about Spaceship Earth? Interestingly enough, they're doing the Moffat-Nathanson Technology Conference this week. Yeah. And Christine McCarthy, the day after, was announced, a day or two after she was announced in the, listed in that lawsuit, said that what Disney is doing is, that user data that Bob Chapek kept talking about they were collecting.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they're taking the data and they're seeing what's popular with people, and they're going to take those popular IPs and they're going to use those to decide what to shove into different things at the parks.
Into the asshole.
Yeah. So I'm expecting them to go ahead and do something with Spaceship Earth and make it unrecognizable. They're probably going to put Coco or something like that over at Mexico. Whatever. Like, Epcot's the one park that... What?
They're going to make Cleopatra black.
Oh my God. There you go.
Yeah.
You can't say that. You'll get in trouble. But but Netflix is their competitor, so who knows. But they're going to basically take IP and shove it everywhere they can shove it. As it is now, we already they kept talking about all the new things coming, and except for things that are already in construction that are either just opening or yet going to be opening soon, the only other things that they've been showing are things like new meet and greets involving IP characters. So maybe they want to know what other meet and greet they can do. But it was funny because they made sure they mentioned on here that tomorrow said that this has nothing to do with the $17 billion that they were going to invest in Florida, that's not going to change. Well, which one's true? Bob Iger's pulling Lake Nona because, he wants to stick it to Florida and take jobs away. Or, we're still going to invest $17 billion that we don't know where we're going to get. Or maybe they're going to get some of the money from this and cancel the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yeah. So, look, I do... Look, the whole Disney DeSantis thing is a giant pissing match. However, I do agree with DeSantis and the fact that Disney is not in a good place financially right now. They do not have $17 billion to throw. Like, I think they're trying to get people pumped for a possible fifth gate. I don't think that's going to happen. And Universal is going to totally destroy them
today, since beginning of the morning when the stuff started dropping about Hulu, it's been one disaster after another all day from Disney. They are restructuring because they're in Hurtsville.
Yep.
And they're trying to do what they can to get rid of things that are failing. But the thing is that they're failing are their own fault. Like Galaxy's, or not Galaxy's Edge, the Galactic Starcruiser.
Galaxy's Edge is failing too. Yeah.
Galactic Starcruiser. They effing overpriced it. Nobody could afford that. And then you base it on your trilogy, which no one wants. You could have lowered the price, and if you had lowered the price, people would have come. But you wouldn't do that. You gave these deals, and some of them were ridiculous deals. Like if you book a deluxe hotel, you can get 20% off or something like that, or $200 off or something. You book a full price trip on the Starcruiser, and you can get like $200 off of a deluxe hotel. I'm like, that's not a bargain.
Yeah, God, they're just making all kinds of crazy decisions.
Here's what was it the memo Damara sent? Yeah, Damara sent. I wanted to let you know that we've just begun communication regarding our updated plans for Lake Nona campus. As many of you know, the company has decided to build a new Disney campus in Lake Nona, and many cast members, Imagineers, and employees were asked to commit to making a move to Florida. So you already put these people in a shitty position, and now like, whoopsie, we changed our mind. Well, some were excited about the new campus. I know that this decision and the circumstances surrounding it have been difficult for others. I know Imagineers quit, okay? Yep. Given the considerable changes that have occurred since the announcement of this project, including new leadership and changing business conditions, not because of Florida, we have decided not to move forward with the construction of the campus. This was not an easy decision to make, but I believe it's the right one. As a result, we will no longer be asking our employees to relocate. For those who have already moved, we will talk to you individually about your situation, including the possibility of you moving back. Those of you that moved to Florida, bought a fucking house.
So the people that quit The people that quit, did they do this to get them to quit? Like, hey guys,
No, I don't think so.
Who of you won't move to Florida? Show of hands. Okay, you're all fired.
No, remember that people were mad because they were giving them a time frame that they had to let them know by and all that
they
crap.
had kids in school. They had
right
houses to sell.
But they said you have to let us know by a certain time, or change jobs, and they're putting all kinds of pressure on them, and now they're like, oopsie doopsie.
But these are the good guys. Remember, Disney are the good guys.
And then there's a bunch of people that work in Florida that were supposed to be contracted to this project who now are losing money and losing jobs. But whatever.
What a cluster.
It had nothing to do with the DeSantis situation. It is clear to me that the power of this brand comes from our incredible people, and we are committed to handling this change with care and compassion, even though we fucked a bunch of you over. I remain optimistic about the direction of our Walt Disney World business, because it's my job too. We have plans to invest $17 billion and create 13,000 jobs over the next 10 years. We never mentioned until someone cornered us about Florida. I hope we're able to do so. We are committed to our teams who call Central Florida home, and all our cast members around the world. And I want to thank you for your continued dedication to Disney Parks experiences and products, for delivering world-class entertainment for our guests, for what we keep open and not shut down.
They will not pull out of Florida. A lot of people are like, you should just
pull out. We're all fucked. I'm sorry.
They won't pull out of the asshole. I mean, what are you going to do, No, look, they're not going to pull out of Florida. Everybody's like, oh, you can just move to Florida. You can build another park.
Oh, no, they can't.
Disney World is the bulk of their theme park revenue. Disneyland is a fraction of Disney World.
That's why they're fighting so hard. They wanted to keep their special district because their hands are tied in Anaheim, and Disney World was allowed to let them open in the pandemic and everything else. And if they lose control of that, they can't just do what they want. Doesn't matter how much $17 billion they're throwing around if they can't actually get approval to open things. Now, that being said, I do not think it would be fair in any way, shape, or form for Disney to be held to a separate set of standards that other theme parks in the area are not held to, and that Disney has to struggle harder to get approval on things when other theme parks don't have to. I would tell you that's not fair either.
No.
Yeah, and I would say that I wouldn't agree with that.
No, and yeah. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. But I knew this was. Oh, look what he made us do! Look what he made us do!
No
bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with him on that. It's like this thing was announced 2 years ago. You guys.
I think it was announced longer ago than that. I think it was officially announced, but it was rumored to be there for months before they officially announced it.
Well, that's like all the blue sky stuff. They announce it, and then they kind of Disney kind of counts on everything going down the memory hole.
Except if there's bloggers and YouTubers, it's not going to go down the memory hole.
Yeah, Main Street Theater. I don't think they ever.
Is that where the festival pavilion went? Down the big ass memory hole?
Down the big ass hole. Yeah, it was a big sinkhole that just sucked it in. No, but like the Main Street Theater, which I was actually excited about. They had the walkways and everything ready for it. This is behind Main Street. They were going to build basically a street behind Main Street that was going to have this theater, and it actually sounded really cool, and I was excited about it. And back when I used to get excited about these things, but I'm like, yeah, that'll be pretty fun. And they just quietly canceled it. Like, they didn't make a big announcement. No. And then people were like, oh, they canceled it because they're going to take that money and they're going to buy new monorails because the monorails smell like piss, and Disney cares about their customers and their safety. Now they didn't do that either.
No. But they're mad when people always say they need to be inspected. Yeah, so this is a load of crap when they're like, Bob Iger says that we're just doing it to show DeSantis and to pull our jobs and money. No. I don't believe it for 1 minute, because you did the Hulu deal earlier. And then, if it was just Lake Nona, okay. But then you canceled the Galactic Starcruiser right after it, which I'm surprised it took you this long. And that just tells me everything. They're panicking at the House of Mouse.
Yeah, because they're looking, with all the strikes, the writer strikes too, like how many of their Disney Plus shows are going to be put on indefinite hiatus and movies.
And then the thing is too, like, your stuff that you have in the theater isn't performing super great. I mean, Guardians is doing better, but a lot of it hasn't been doing, phenomenal, except for Avatar 2. And you guys, then your Disney Plus shows, a lot of the ones for Star Wars and Marvel are just getting flushed. People don't care.
Nope.
And it's your own damn fault, because you kept delivering subpar shit and then saying, well, we'll slap Star Wars on it, everybody will come. And you kept saying this, and you kept pandering to a certain group of people who didn't give two shits about what you did, other than the fact that they want to scream about it. And then you have a whole bunch of people that you've been pandering to for the theme parks, that you wanted whales, and you made this stupid fucking Galactic Starcruiser, overpriced concierge white glove service for the whales. Shut up, Neon. And then
there's a joke in there about the
sperm whales. Yes, I'm sure.
Oh no, I wasn't making a joke about sperm whales.
I thought you were gonna go there. The way you look, the look on your face.
No, I was talking about the fat people eating too much Disney food and Christine McCarthy making jokes about I wasn't talking about sperm whales.
Just look in your face. It was a dirty joke in there. It's the only one I could think of that quickly. But I'm just saying, they tried to switch their business to appeal to the super wealthy, who would rather take the money and go to real Europe than Epcot Europe. They have made things like the Galactic Starcruiser $4,800 to $6,000 for less than 2 days. And other than the diehard fans, we kept saying it might be booked now, but it's going to fall off a cliff. It's one and done. Yep. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
I mean, it's basically like they sit there and say, what is the stupidest thing we could do right now? Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, even Galaxy's Edge back then, I mean, it blows my mind. It's like, what is Money in the Bank? Oh, original trilogy. Everybody universally loves the original Star Wars trilogy. Everybody knows Darth Vader. Everybody knows Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia. Yeah, let's just base on these new characters, but not even. Let's make up new characters for this new planet.
Oh, yeah, and now there's rumors about, because that didn't work. So now there's rumors that Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be Heir to the Empire.
Nobody
but like
cares.
change, because Luke would be technically around, but they're gonna find a way to ruin Heir to the Empire next. I'd rather they just don't touch it at this point.
Stop.
But you said about back to Christine McCarthy's Disney Plus and IP. It takes them a decade to do anything. So just because the movie's popular now, 10 years from now doesn't mean it's popular. Inside Out, I'm looking at you. What are they gonna do? Base everything on Elemental? I mean, there's going to be like, what do people like right now? And that's great. And I get that. Other than doing meet and greets that you could slap together, or some quick overlay that you could slap together in 2 months, you cannot really use that data because 10 years from now, people might not care about it anymore.
You know what I liked and what I miss? Talking
creativity?
I miss, WDI, Disney Imagineering, coming up with their own original IP. There's a reason that we're getting a Haunted Mansion movie. There's a reason that the Haunted Mansion merchandise still sells.
Right.
Decades later.
I love the Haunted Mansion. I can't wait to see the movie.
The movie actually looks decent.
I mean, it might suck. I don't care. I'm like, I love the Haunted Mansion. Like, I really love the Haunted Mansion.
That's one of Geeky's favorite things. But, and they could have had that with Journey into Imagination in Epcot, but they had
I used to love Journey into Imagination
blow that up. But instead, they're like, oh, it's whatever movie's big this year that people are going to forget about in 5 years, let's just base a ride on.
And by the time the ride gets done, no one cares.
Let's make a sequel. Let's make an unnecessary sequel so people remember this thing exists just in time for the ride. But meanwhile, Universal can tap it while it's hot because they get this stuff done in a decent amount of time.
Oh, granted, their stuff's IP based too.
Yeah, but they're smarter. They're smart about what they do. Oh, what's always going to be popular? Jurassic Park. Minions, Harry Potter,
Minions will always be
Mario.
popular.
I think Minions will be around a while.
I don't know, Mario definitely, but I'm just like, it is what it is. But with all the news we've been getting lately, the Lake Nona thing, I was not surprised about Lake Nona because I even thought the other day we haven't heard anything about that. Are they working on it yet? But I was really surprised about the Starcruiser. I didn't expect them to pull that one out of their ass. But
actually, you kind of called it. There were indicators on that one because we had cast members getting laid off,
or they were just quitting.
We had
not that they were renewing their contracts.
No, they were actually hiring new actors. I think to replace the ones that were walking away.
Right, because they saw and then they were taking dinner. They usually had 2 dinner services. They were taking it down to 1.
Right.
They were running these quote unquote cruises with hardly anybody aboard.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It's like that was not sustainable, and it was a one and done. So yeah, I mean, it's not shocking it failed. I'm actually shocked of all the stuff they could cancel. That wasn't one of the first things. Like,
you were surprised they built it.
I was. That's what I'm saying. Like they were going through and they were canceling stuff. I'm like, of all the stuff you have on the list that could be canceled, that would have been, for me, that would have been at the top of the list. I'm like, nobody's going to pay for this.
They should have taken the money for that and put it into the other hotel they were going to do, or River Country was, which it escapes you right now what that was. Or they could have just taken that and made it not a DVC. Because for, I don't know, that's a whole other tangent. But, here we are. They're canceling stuff. I didn't expect it to go this far today, but the whole idea that it's because, we're trying to punish Florida is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's because Disney is shitting themselves. They're probably going to have to pay for Hulu. We don't know that for sure, but it looks like they're going to have to pay for Hulu now. And they just don't have the money for all this stuff. contrary to the narrative they want to show you. Why do you think we're getting meet and greets instead of actual attractions?
Yeah. So pretty soon you'll just get like a cardboard cutout of Mickey.
That's a $10 upcharge.
That's $10 upcharge. Yeah, get your selfie with Mickey.
That's right.
All right, kids, move on. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views. What's wrong? You're
I was just thinking the white glove concierge service is going to mean something completely different for an upcharge soon.
Oh my God, Mickey's OnlyFans. Minnie's OnlyFans.
And pretty soon it's going to be Mickey's only fan.
They're getting there. I don't know. How many Disney diehards do they have left? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.